I run into the guy who was ahead of me, and his calf is bleeding
Oh God.
from the knee down.
Oh
He is off
God.
his bike. He's in the bushes. He pulled it off, and he is like bleeding from the knee down. His white socks are soaking in blood. This is day one of the bachelor party.
Hey y'all, welcome to Culture Cult. I am your host Marie, and if you are a reoccurring listener, hell yeah, welcome back. Thank you for always being an OG. If you are new to the show, essentially this is a show where I am on the mission to learn about every single country in the world, and I do that by telling you also a really fucking crazy history story from that country. This way, we can all become less ignorant about the world and learn about each other's cultures. But in today's episode, we're doing a travel story. And I love these episodes. This is essentially where I have a guest that come on and tell me their best travel story. And today's guest is a fan favorite. Everybody loves Kyle. Kyle is on here to tell his story about this one bachelor party he went to in Vancouver that ended bloody, bruised, and I think pretty bad personally. And if anything, just take this as a note of what not to do at your bachelor party. Enjoy. Okay, your first question, classic question, but everyone needs to know.
Would I rather have my name be brick or glass?
We have to
Because we've
start
been
with
over
that.
this.
No, we have to start with that
Are you
question.
serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
People don't know your answer. Would you rather your name be brick or glass? Classic
I would
question.
rather shoot myself in the face.
Not answer.
Brick or glass? I say brick. I like
Yeah,
brick.
I'm brick too.
Oh, then I'm glass.
No. Why you gotta change like that?
Because now that I know what you are, I don't want to be on the same team as you.
Okay. Well, glass breaks easily, so
Well, brick is
this makes for a strong home.
I mean, not if there's an earthquake.
Glass ain't gonna do shit either.
Yeah, I mean, I go with brick.
All right.
Glass is still like it's like a little too elegant. It's too like, oh, I'm glass.
I just feel like
I'm
glass is conceited.
yeah. I mean, it's a little narcissistic, I think.
You're
No,
pretty much
nothing against
saying,
people who want to be glass. I'm
yeah,
sure you got a reason.
you can be glass, but I'm just saying
Just
you're
know that I'm going to throw a brick at you.
yes,
I like to be glass. I'm reflective.
I'm fragile, you
Yeah,
know,
or sharp. I
or
mean,
sharp,
yeah, glass and cut.
but brick is like, fuck yeah, brick,
I'm
bitches.
a fucking brick. Yeah. Hey, I'm brick, bitches. Let's build a house.
Yeah, I think we're brick. Okay. Well, I had to start with the classic question because it's a
Yeah.
very important question and it
Oh,
really
for
says a lot
sure.
about you.
Oh, absolutely. You don't need to ask me any more questions about myself, actually.
No, I have four more. So get ready.
But you do.
Okay. Your second question is if you were a country, what country do you think represents you or what country is your vibe?
That's a great
I
question.
know it's a hard one.
All these countries have so much history. Okay, we're gonna take out all the dark history,
Yep. Yep.
right? I'd probably go European, honestly. Um, I could go Spain
Why do you think you are Spain?
because I'm a little bit more on the sunny side of life, I'd say, and tall, dark, and handsome. Check,
Wow.
love paella. No, I mean, I just love the Spanish lifestyle. It's like I feel like they really live life so well out there. It's like it's about the party and the food and the vibes. I could go Italian as well. Maybe I would go Italian because they're well dressed and I have just impeccable style.
Wow. So you're insulting the
So,
Spanish. He said that
I'm
y'all
saying
don't.
Spanish is great style too, but think
Mhm.
about it, like all the great fashion houses, the majority of them are Italian. And I just love Italian suits, so I'll go
Wait.
Italian.
So you're saying fashion is more important to you than party?
No, Italians have the party too. You've been to Italy, haven't you?
Yeah. I actually had a bad time. I need to
What
go
the
back.
hell?
I need to go back.
I would say though, and nothing against Italian food. I know this might get me in trouble, but you know me, I'm all about trouble.
Controversial
I actually like the food in
food.
Spain more than Italy.
Okay. Also controversial. I stayed in Spain for 2 months and I didn't really dig the food.
I think you and I just need a little trip to Spain.
Yeah. I mean, I only went to Costa Brava, which is like Barcelona and Valencia. There's way more to discover. So,
I actually thought the best food was in Barcelona.
yeah. Also didn't have a good time there. So, we just need to do a redo trip for me and in Italy. Yeah. Okay.
All
Cool.
right, let's go.
What country do you think I am?
You, I could really see you as Mexico.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I love to party. I love the
Yeah.
music. I love to dance. And
Yeah.
it's
Love it.
diverse.
And it's very diverse. All kinds of different colors on the spectrum. And I don't know, like I feel like
Historical.
historical, I think Mexico is just a beautiful country.
Oh my God. Like the fucking terrain and all the different cultures. Like I
Yeah,
could
it's
definitely see Mexico.
lush. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. I mean, when we went to Mexico City, I was just blown away by the parks and the minute you leave the city, it's like dense jungle. I'm like, oh
Green.
my God, this is gorgeous. This is just gorgeous.
And we haven't even been to like Oaxaca or like Chiapas or any of that.
Yeah,
Like I've literally just been to
I
Mexico
know.
City. I would say I would be Mexico or some Caribbean island because I like to dance and get down, and so do like Jamaicans. If I don't know if you've ever seen a Jamaican party, but it gets nasty. And I
I don't
like,
think you get nasty though. You
yeah,
get like dirty.
dirty. Yeah, Jamaican parties are like I see videos and I'm like, what? Oh my God, is this a family function? Um, yeah, I would say I'm Caribbean, like joyful, fun, party.
Island girl.
Yeah. Okay, so you're Spitalian. I'm Jamexican.
Mexican. Put that on a t-shirt.
My last question is what's a big red flag for you in a travel buddy? Or maybe you're dating someone and maybe it's a red flag on their idea of like travel in the world.
A big red flag for me would be that you think everything's going to go according to plan. That would be a huge red flag
Mm,
because the best laid plans, um, you know, don't ever go like point to point to point when you're traveling. Things happen, and the ability to adjust and understand and move on
hmm
is crucial in traveling because you're not always gonna make that guide tour. You're not gonna always have time for that show, and you're not gonna always, be able to meet up and et cetera, et cetera. And I feel like someone who's more relaxed about that and just more go with the flow is better to have on a trip because like if you're on a trip with someone and then they're just thinking everything's going to go perfect, that can usually lead to
Yeah, nasty
them not
fights.
having a good time,
I
especially in a
think,
foreign city when you don't know where you are.
oh my God. I think that's like the difference between like you're dating a resort person versus a
Hmm.
traveler. Because a
Yeah.
resort person already has everything scheduled. So everything is going to
Yeah.
go
I
accordingly.
mean, the whole idea is just you have a local focal point.
Local Focal, good band name. Fuck.
Yep.
I'm not ready to tell.
You are welcome.
Local Focal. That's so good. Okay, continue.
I mean, that was it. Yeah. The big red flag for me is just like, can you roll with the punches? Is everything just this big deal or can you roll with it? And it's like, okay, I figured out my own way. We're here now. Now that we're together, let's have a great time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I think red flag for me is that, but someone who's like not open-minded, like judgy to like random people we meet, or judgy on the food, or judgy on the open
Yeah.
experience. If we're like at a bar, we meet someone and like they're just a bit different, or like they're just, I don't know, and the other person doesn't want to engage. They're just not being open-minded because maybe they
Yeah.
look different, or maybe they dress different, they talk different. Like that would be a red flag for me.
So if they're a racist, what you're saying.
Yeah.
I thought that was a turn on for you.
Racist. I am from Alabama.
Yeah.
No.
Roll
That's
Tide, right?
roll tide. So we're gonna just roll on to the next part of that conversation.
Excellent transition.
Excellent, excellent. So I have two stories I'm gonna read out. One's actually an experience someone had because of this podcast. The second is a travel
Because of this.
story. Hmm
Oh my God, look at you putting experiences in people's
I
lives.
know. Yeah, I'm excited to read that one. And then one's a travel story, and then we're gonna end on one of your travel stories. So this one's called Volcano Story. And
Ooh,
this was
wow. Sounds
emailed to
explosive.
me. This is emailed to me from Sarah Alvarado, and
Shout out to Sarah.
her email starts, quote, "It was one of those let's do it all kind of travel days." Oh,
Uh-oh.
by the way, they're in Mexico City.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
a little context would help.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. So they're in Mexico City. It was one of those let's do it all kind of travel days. We started out early, grabbing coffee to go to the Andes Hotel in Condesa, which is where we were staying at,
Mhm.
and Uber to the Freedom Museum, which we didn't do, which I kind of regret. So we could have walked
Fair
to the
enough,
neighborhood
thanks.
market close by. After the museum, we Ubered to the Embarcadero Natividad in Xochimilco, which we did do,
Mhm.
and spent an hour on the gondola floating through the gorgeous canals. We did not get diarrhea, LOL. Okay, so she's referencing the fact that I called out Chris for having diarrhea the whole time.
That was scary.
For our friend Chris, I've never seen him scared before. Like we were on the gondola in Chimico, and that man was like not smiling. He just had this
Yeah.
like timid little look to him, and not eating, not partying, not talking, just sitting there with his legs closed, just staring.
Yeah, he literally. And it's funny because we got so much food on that boat and he didn't touch it.
I feel like he did not engage when we were on that gondola because
Yeah.
he knew because
He's like, I'm trapped.
he already had diarrhea all week, and we were on this trapped gondola, and she's making it seem like it's a chill gondola ride through Venice canals. This place is like wild. It was like the boats were packed, bumper to bumper gondolas. Like there's bands everywhere. People are trying to sell you food. There's only like a couple bathroom spots, and you have to pay for it. And they're pretty much holes in the ground, and you have to pay for the toilet paper. Chris was
They
definitely
didn't give you
scared.
any TP either. It was like,
And it was like
bro,
that thin shit. So if you
I know.
actually
I was like,
had to
bro, I'm not trying
go,
to like pick it out with my hands here, bro.
God, Chris was terrified. So that's
Yeah.
what she meant by saying we did not get diarrhea, which good for you, Sarah. And so she was referencing Chris, RIP.
Uh,
So then we
all right,
held,
poop.
all right. So then we headed to the Chapultepec Park and toured the castle for some history and gorgeous views. We were there the last day of our tour, so they let us in for free, which was a perfect afternoon. Thanks to Marie's podcast, I knew to head over to the Ritz-Carlton across the park, which really is
Hey.
which is really a thank you to Kyle, because Kyle actually had to shit and we had to go to the Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah. Well, because like I'm not gonna pay to go to the bathroom. That's so not American. So the first I remember like going through the park, going through this jungle, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to like go somewhere quick. And then almost like the clouds had parted, and then this heavenly light down, and there it was, the Ritz-Carlton. I was like, they have clean bathrooms there. So, hey, don't just go there for the bathrooms though. Go up to the rooftop and get yourself a nice drink. You're gonna see panoramic views of the city. The service there, obviously top notch. Ritz-Carlton, check them out. Such a great hotel, such a great spot to like chill after adventuring in Mexico.
Yes.
Get some espresso martinis at the Ritz. I mean, like, hey,
Amazing.
you gotta travel in style, you know?
Yeah. So she's saying, thanks, Marie's podcast. I knew to head over to the Ritz-Carlton across from the park. On the 38th floor is the Sky Lobby, open to the public, offering stunning views of the city, like Cal said. They sat us in the perfect corner spot. We ordered some drinks, we ordered some appetizers, ready to enjoy the sunset. At one point, I glanced out the horizon and noticed that smoke was coming up from one of the mountains. The Popocatépetl, oh no, volcano was erupting. Within 2 minutes, it was billowing smoke and people were snapping photos all around us. It was stunning. The server was less impressed, though. Quote, apparently erupts a lot. But for us, it was the most amazing experience. It was one of those travel experiences you cannot plan for, which we were talking about not planning for things too hard. The next morning on our flight to Oaxaca, the volcano actually erupted again, and we got another front row seat to incredible photos. Fuck
Wow.
yeah. Fuck yeah.
That is incredible. That is incredible. That's like a lifetime event. I mean, because like I mean here in LA and like just generally in America, like there's only really what like a handful of volcanoes and they don't really erupt. Yeah. If that happened when we were there, I would have freaked out. I mean,
Yeah.
that is like a once in a lifetime thing. Like to actually see the
Yeah.
volcano erupt. How many times do you get to see that and not end up like Pompeii? You know what I mean?
Like,
Like, damn, that is
and with
some that's
that
special.
view from
Yeah,
the Ritz
right. Oh,
Carlton.
yeah, from the Ritz. That would have been insane. That would have been insane.
And then she saw it again on the airplane, like
That's
up
so lucky.
close.
You cannot plan that. That is just pure dumb luck.
Yeah, because it could have been any point of the day she got to the Ritz Carlton. Like, I think she wanted to go there because of the episode, but still, she went there at the right time of day.
That is so lucky.
Yeah.
I'm so
Sarah,
jealous.
good job,
Sarah,
Sarah.
amazing. I would say amazing job, but you didn't really make the volcano erupt. But very lucky timing.
Yes, very lucky timing. And again, go to the fucking Ritz if you're in Mexico City.
Yeah, maybe you'll see a volcano explode.
Yeah, maybe you can like up level our stories because damn. Okay, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Sarah because she sent me her book Dreaming in Spanish, and it's an extremely raw, honest, and beautiful memoir that she wrote about her life, about growing up in the Midwest, leaving to go to LA, shit going down in LA, having to leave LA, and then feeling kind of lost in her life, and she didn't know where to go, and she just packed up her shit and went to Mexico at a really, really young age. And that's where she found herself. She connected back to her spirituality and she eventually finds love. And I'm not spoiling anything. It says she finds love in the title. But I appreciate you sending me this book, Sarah, because I relate with this book. It's kind of strange that you're sending it to me in this point in my life. For those who don't know me, I had to leave LA because some shit went down for me there, though I love LA and that's where I felt like it was my home. And I've spent the past year building my business and now I'm traveling the world, but I do feel really lost. I don't know where my next home should be, my next community. And so this book is timely and it's really a perfect read for me right now. So I think if you love a really raw travel memoir and if you like Eat, Pray, Love, this is totally up your alley. So I will leave you her info and her book will be in the show notes. Thank you, Sarah, for sending me the book. So the last travel story I have on my end is from Hack My Travel. That's HACKMYA Travel. And okay, so this story is really good. Okay, so it says, picture this. You are in your early 20s in college and you didn't travel much as a kid. You get your first decent paying job and decide to take a road trip with your boyfriend on the cheapest budget, of course. You drive 10 hours to Colorado Springs, which we've done a drive like that. It's a long drive.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have paid for a spare bedroom in someone's house at an Airbnb. This is also your first time using an Airbnb, by the way. The listing
Wow.
only has a picture of the bed. And you read the reviews, they all say, quote, the cat is cool. So you and your boyfriend think that's a bit odd, but whatever. The cat's cool. You drive overnight and arrive too early in the check-in. So instead of going to the Airbnb, you decide to go on a hike. You pick the most popular hike, Manitou Incline. You learn the hard way that it was a very difficult hike to go on when you're sleep deprived and not a regular hiker. You and your boyfriend end up on all fours up the steepest part of the incline. And I looked
Freaking
up this
crazy.
hike and it literally is that. You can tell it's just like straight mountain with stairs.
I mean, you could turn around. Like,
Like they're literally on all fours. I guess it's one of those things like we don't want to quit, you know?
that's so dumb. It's like, what do they call that? Like the point of diminishing return. Like at this point, like you want to like crawl to your Airbnb?
You're saying you would stop? I feel like we would. I
Yes.
feel like we wouldn't stop. I feel like we would definitely keep going.
Marie, we were putting up a tent in a storm, and what did you want to do?
I wanted to stop, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
But okay, this did remind me though of that fucking hike we did at Bryce Canyon because it didn't look like it would be deceiving.
We were out there for like 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
And it was straight incline. I would say look up Bryce Canyon. It looks like Whoville. And that's what we were climbing around. And I think it was called Peekaboo, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Peekaboo Trail should have been called like,
We called it fucking
yeah, just
Astro.
literally like Berry Boot Camp Trail.
Because we saw a guy in the beginning of the trail and then we never saw him again. And it's a loop.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
spirit.
Anyway, so the hike was bad for them. It says once you reach
Oh, you
the
don't
top,
say.
once you reach the top, you're so tired at it walking at a snail's pace down the switchback trail back to your car. That adventure was supposed to take a couple hours, ends up being 6+ hours.
Fuck, there goes your day. Your day is shot. Your legs are shot.
Oh my God. And that's after driving like 10 hours. Well, so now you're incredibly tired and all you want to do is sleep at this Airbnb you paid $50 a night to stay at. You drive to the house and to your surprise, you see a hearse in the driveway.
Ooh.
I guess you can still go into the house, right?
If there was a hearse out front, yeah.
So you and your boyfriend discuss how it's a bit odd and maybe they work at a funeral home or something. You go to the door and are greeted by owners who happen to be in goth attire, black hair, black lipstick, eye makeup, black clothing, and tattoos. Internally, you are slightly alarmed, but you don't want to judge, so you go inside. The owners are very kind and easy to talk to, so you calm down. They then walk you to the room where you're staying in, which happens to be in the basement. As you enter, the basement is also decorated in goth theme with black painted walls, gothic art, and not one but two coffins are in the basement. And they have a hearse outside, so they're prepared for something.
For a funeral, sounds like.
Yeah. Now would you leave?
I would say, hey guys, did somebody die? Was it the last guest?
At this point, you're probably trying not to have a visible panic attack. You tell yourself you're overreacting and it's fine that some people have different decor opinions. You go into the room where you'll be staying and it is painted a bright purple and you breathe with a sigh of relief. The bed is all black sheets, comforter, and there's a black fluffy cat. Once the two of you are alone in the bedroom plus the cat, you talk and if it's safe to stay, and if you should go find something else. You want to leave, but you also don't want to spend any more money. Keep in mind, you are also beyond exhausted because you didn't sleep the night before since you were driving. You accidentally went on a difficult hike the day before. So you ultimately decide to stay because you're cheap and tired. You go to the bathroom to use the toilet and shower, only to find the bathroom is painted all red. And remember at my old apartment, that guy that had everything red outside of his house? Like his
Oh yeah.
whole. So just for reference, I lived in this like bad neighborhood in LA, and the guy below in the first floor was like a clown guy, and he had
Yeah.
clown stuff. Like the whole window was covered.
Like scary clown,
Yeah,
kind of.
scary clown. Yeah. And he only wore red. He had a red little basket he went around, and he was creepy as fuck. Like this guy definitely is a murderer. And so when he moved out and I walked past his room, and I shit you fucking not, everything was red. He painted the floors red. He painted the walls red. He painted the toilet red. He painted the cabinets red. Like the entire place was red. He painted it. Like that guy was in the same building as me. Fucking so scary. So, so scary. But anyways, the whole bathroom is red. This terrifies you. So you have your boyfriend sit in the bathroom to guard while you shower. You psych him out. So then you have to stand guard for him while he showers as well. Thankfully, you're so tired you just fall asleep quickly. You wake up the next day and relieved that you're both still alive. You are ready to bolt out the house. When you are leaving, one of the owners invites you to have coffee with her,
Oh
but you don't
God.
have the guts to
Is it
say
black coffee
no.
too? I guess.
You don't have the guts to say no, so you stay. And she's nice and friendly and asks the two of you what you were up to for the day and if you'd be back. But you and your boyfriend are really freaked out from the experience, and none of you are drinking the coffee. You look at each other on the spot and start making up lies about how you have to go back home for a family emergency and you're just going to grab breakfast and leave. She seems understanding and wishes you the best, so you both get up and head out. And you walk out and you are thankful to be alive. We spend the next day exploring the town, ultimately deciding to book another spare bedroom listing on the Airbnb. So this time, make sure the reviews are more detailed and there are more photos of the house itself. They learned that lesson. This ended up being a great stay. We got along with the owners so much. We had a game night and even went out to eat together.
Completely different experience.
I know. So, moral of the story is to check the description and reviews on your Airbnb listing. And if they say something random like the cat is cool, do not book it.
I mean, okay, but if the cat is cool, that would be a plus for me.
Yeah. But it is weird that no one mentioned the
Yeah, I
actual
know. What
house.
a freaking like, hello, help out your fellow traveler here.
I wonder if they were just like scared to mention it. Like
Or maybe that's why they booked it.
on the reviews, it shows none of that on the pictures of the Airbnb. So, but that would be a really scary first Airbnb. Like, I'm kind of
Oh my
surprised they
gosh,
did it
yeah,
again.
yeah, for sure.
The
I
coffin thing
mean,
would fuck me up. I'd be like, we gotta
that
go.
would definitely be a yellow flag.
Yeah, there's no way. I don't think I could stay there. But I guess they didn't know what to do.
Well, I'm glad they tried it again. It sounded like they just needed a second chance.
I'm glad you made it out and that you are trying things again. But her Instagram is just to shout her out. It's hack MYA travel. She talks about travel hack, flight hacks, how to stay at nice ass hotels. I guess she learned her lesson. And then how to use your credit card points and miles. And yeah, so you don't end up in this situation. So
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't figured out the credit card point thing yet with travel.
You are a traveler. You should
I
definitely.
know. Well, I have a credit card and it does get points, but there's like people who do it where like they get new credit cards for points and like they know how to like pay it off and it's crazy. I don't know. People are really good at it.
It's a game.
I'm not gonna lie, you kind of need money to buy into it because you gotta have like you gotta be willing to risk like having 3 credit cards, which I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like having 2 credit cards would be the max that I'd want. I heard the best ones for travel are the preferred, Chase
I
preferred.
heard that one.
If you can go above that, I think there's like the Chase, like there's one above that that would be really great. It just has a high buy-in point. And then the Amex Gold I heard is pretty good too.
Okay. 8, but shout out to Capital One. That's what I have. But yay, I'll have her stuff in the show notes. But now, Kyle, it's your turn. Tell your
Hey,
travel story.
okay. So my friend is having his bachelor party over in Vancouver, Canada. And if you've never been to Vancouver, it is a beautiful, beautiful city and beautiful surrounding area. We're talking like anything imaginable for the outdoor enthusiast, which my friend is. He lives in Colorado. He mountain bikes, whitewater rafts. Like he's basically an outdoor animal. And so he wanted to have his bachelor party in Vancouver. I only knew like I think one other person in his bachelor party, but we all meet up and it's all his friends who he had played soccer with and just had met through different, avenues of life, through work and high school, college, whatever. Super great guys, had a great time. And so one of the things he wanted to do was mountain bike. So I've actually gone mountain biking with this friend, and his idea of an easy trail is not an easy trail. Like we went mountain biking in Boston when I visited him, and that trail was like very difficult. A lot of roots, rocks, ponds. Like I literally just
Cons.
drifted into a pond, like just like and then fell right into a pond. I could not stop my speed. I didn't know how to do it. I know the brakes, okay, great, but when it's dusty like that, it does not stop immediately. So I just kind of like I skirted, and I literally thought it was like Tokyo drifting. I had it perfect. Like it was almost happening slow mo. I was just going and drifting, and then I just tried to go forward when the time came to cross this like narrow bridge, but I missed the bridge and ended up in the wall.
I'm gonna fucking die if I saw that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. And so that is, and he said, "Oh, this is an easy trail. It's going to be no problem.
Mm,
Not an easy trail." So we're in Vancouver, and once again, all the nature you could ever want, right? So the biggest thing he wants to do is mountain biking. So we go to this mountain bike shop, and they had pictures of the surrounding trails on the wall, and I'm like, wow, I really hope we're not going on any of these. Like, I knew it wasn't going to be like a leisurely bike through the city, but this is like a mountain biker's trail right here. Okay? And keep in mind, before we went up, we were all taking bets on who would be the first to fall and who wouldn't fall, right?
mm.
So naturally, they're all like, "Oh, Hollywood over here. I don't know if you're gonna get another takeout there. Do you have a stunt double that could maybe do some of these runs for you? I don't know.
Ah.
I don't know if you're gonna last one run on this bike,
Did
Hollywood."
they call you Hollywood?
Oh yeah, they're calling
That's
me
fucking
Hollywood. And like, oh,
Hollywood.
yeah, exactly. They're like, "Oh, look at this Hollywood guy." Like people were literally hedging bets. Half the group bet that I would be the one to fall.
Wow. Okay.
Right, right. So a little bit of a personal challenge there, right? So we get up, and I actually go up with the first group because I think it was like 12 guys. And so I went up with the first group, and I originally wanted to go up in the second just because, like, hey, just like give me more time to
Yeah.
fucking.
Right.
Like, I was picking out, like, I felt like I was on a screen selector for a game, and I was literally picking out my armor. I picked like the sleeve with the shoulder pads, the knee pads, the chest pad, the helmet. I was like fucking gearing up here. And everyone else was like, I'm just gonna wear t-shirts and shorts.
No way.
And so I'm like padded up. I'm like, I'm ready to fucking go. Cause like I made it a personal mission of mine. I would not fall. I would
But
not.
by you buying all that gear, that's probably why they thought you were going to fall.
No, well, we had the bets before I bought the gear.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I bought the gear because I was like, look, I have not mountain biked since I went with my friend in Boston, and that was like 5 something years ago. So I'm not a mountain biker. These trails look intense.
This is
And
such a
so
weird bachelorette thing to
it's
do.
not a
Bachelor.
bachelorette. It's a bachelor thing.
Bachelorette.
It would be a very weird bachelorette thing, but bachelor party, sure.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Um, so I go up in the first group, and I didn't want to, but the girl at the front desk was like, "Oh my God, like you should come up with in my truck." I'm like, okay. So I go up with the front, and I go with like I think it was like 4 guys up there with me, and they had never mountain biked before. So we had about 30 minutes to burn before the other group caught up because they had to get their bikes fitted and their pads and their helmets and whatever. And so I was like, okay, let's just go on a quick trail. And so we just go up in the trail. We had never been here before, obviously. So we just go off to this little side trail, and it is like stunning. I mean, so it was one of the easier trails we did that day. So it
Yeah.
was very more of like flat with like some ups and downs, and like you got a little airborne because you go up and like shoo, and then you go over this creek and like tall trees, like beautiful brush. We went, and the end point was like this sweeping view of the valley, which was like just mountains covered in trees. And honestly, if it was my trip, I was like, you know what, guys, let's just smoke a blunt
Let's
here.
just
Like,
hang
let's
here.
have a good time. So we go on this awesome trail, like really great start. And we're just like, okay, like I feel like I'm warming up here, warming up. So then we go back to the start. We're just waiting for the next group to come. They come up and we're all together. And so we're like, okay, great. We're all together. Like, let's do this thing. Woo. And so the first point he wants to go to is the tallest point.
Mm.
So the first thing you should know about mountain bikes is that they do not do well on any other terrain really besides downhill, right? So getting uphill to
Oh,
the tallest point was a frickin' workout. And I'm
oh,
not just saying that like I work out. Like I stay steady with that. I'm not saying I'm the most in shape guy you'll ever meet, but I stay steady with that. I had to get off my bike and walk it for a little bit because the mountain bikes were just not great at going uphill. They were very slow.
they're heavy.
Yeah. Well, like they actually aren't heavy, but the fact is that they're like the way that the gears are set up
Okay.
is that you don't get a lot of like push when you go uphill. So it's like the exertion to get uphill was just a lot. Okay.
Wow.
And so like I'm literally having to get off my bike and just walk it for two reasons. One, it is a pretty freaking intense workout. Second, the elevation difference between Los Angeles and Vancouver is basically night and day. LA is sea level.
Mm.
Vancouver is not. And so the lack of air, I felt like I was like huffing and puffing. Like I was like the fucking big bad wolf up there. I literally could have blown a house down. I was like, there was no freaking air in my lungs. I had to literally get off the bike and walk it. And so we go down the trail, and like so we're all standing at the top. And we're like, who's gonna go first, right? So one of the guys, he goes first, and I'm like, okay, like I'll go right behind, I'll go right after you. So we just go. We're the first two. And to begin the trail, like you go down fast. And you just like it's literally like a roller coaster. So you have to shoot perfectly between these two like sequoias that are literally a bike distance apart. So if you were to hesitate and go right or left, you're going to crash into a sequoia going fast. It starts like you go downhill.
Oh my
You
God.
have to you have to literally shoot this gap,
Oh
right?
my God.
So I shoot that gap. I'm like, okay, whew, first time. And so we go down and it's going like it's a snake trail. So it's like switchbacks, like choo, 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 choo. And literally like you're having to go around roots, rocks, trees, and you have to like kind of figure it out like how fast you're gonna go. Needless to say, definitely made the brakes work a little overtime, especially on that first run. So we get to this part of the trail where it's a very narrow bridge, very, very narrow.
Mm.
And it's literally enough for one bike wheel to go across. Like if you were to walk across, it would be like a tightrope.
What's
It would be
underneath you?
jagged rocks, jagged rocks. So the guy in
Oh.
front of me, he's going on, and I can see him hesitate. And I'm just like, oh no. Because like the thing is, when you go through those things, you can't look at the jagged rocks. You have to go
Mhm.
straight, right? He was looking at the jagged rocks. So literally in the middle of the bridge, he just almost like slow motion, inexplicable, falls over.
What?
Yeah, falls over into the jagged rocks and smacks his back
Oh God.
against like a jagged boulder
Oh
to the
no.
point where he was like he couldn't like wiggle his toes for like 2 seconds, 3 seconds.
Oh God.
Scary. It's as much as like we're laughing about it now, that was kind of scary because like the bike fell on top of him and he could not move for like a minute. He just like couldn't move.
Fuck. Ugh.
Uh, so obviously that stops the party. He's like slowly getting up. His back is like serrated and black and blue. So he was like done at that. And that was like 15 minutes into
Mm.
this
You're
trail.
still on
Like,
the fucking mountain.
oh yeah, this is our first run. This is our first run.
Oh my God. Why? This is not a bachelor thing.
I know. I was like,
This is
Mac, like, I
stupid.
was talking about this after, but I'm like, Mac, like we later learned that this was actually a world-renowned trail that mountain bikers would like seek to go on because it was just wild. And so he's done for the day. He is literally done. And we had just started. So to give you any idea of how difficult this trail is, right? So we go along and then we all stop at this start another like launching point in the middle of the trail. So it's like there's this you can stop any point in the trail, but some places are definitely more dangerous than others, like the blind corners and like the fast like straightaways. Those are the places you don't want to stop.
Mm.
So we stopped at this like little perch and we're just like kind of surveying the trail ahead, and we're like, God damn. I didn't see the trail. I just saw freaking trees. Like it's like thick
Wow.
with just like all the obstacles a mountain biker could ever want. And so, this time we send the more experienced people first, right? And so, like, we're asking them like, hey, like, do you have any tips for this? And they're like, oh, just feel it out. Just feel it out. I'm like, oh, wow, thanks. I'm going to try to not feel that serrated boulder in my back next time. So they go and like, I let them go for a little bit. And I was like, I don't hear any screaming. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So then I go. And we were taking our distance between each because when that guy had stopped, like I almost crashed because I didn't expect him to just like stop in the middle of the bridge and fall over. So I almost went off into the jagged boulders, but I was able to catch myself. So I go. And this part of the trail, you cannot go any other speed besides fast. You have to go fast because of the way that the downward trajectory of it, you cannot hit the brakes because like it's dusty and whatnot. So the brakes you slide and skid and they could slow you down, but it also kind of makes it more dangerous to brake because
Mhm.
now you're stiff on this trail when you should be loose, right? So I literally on this trail, my bikes have to go over. There's no way to other way around it. Roots, rocks, like literally at full speed, having to go over these like thick roots, right? So I'm like, I am white knuckling
Wow.
this ride down. And then I turn the corner and go fast. And I think, oh my gosh, I'm scot-free. There was like 10 seconds where I didn't have to worry about my life, right? And then I see something I had never seen before. It was this side ramp, like wooden ramp, where you had to literally go like, it was like this, right? And you had to literally go down on it and like on top of it and circle back.
What? So you have to
I
go at full speed.
You have to go at full speed or else you will fall. And the options you have are you could go full speed into this like wooden ramp where your bike literally goes from like dusty, rooty trail to like literally off the trail onto this wooden ramp. Like you're literally sideways, like a Formula One race or something like that. Like you're literally sideways. And then you scoot out, or you could hit the brakes, tip over, and hit a tree. Those are your options. So I'm like, fuck it, let's go. So I hit it and I go on this trail and I almost went too fast to where I almost went over the trail and over the wooden on-ramp or whatever and literally off it into the fucking forest where I probably would have hit a tree dead on. So I literally like had to hit the brakes, catch myself, white knuckling the entire time, rip the wheel like back onto course, and then just shoot out of that gap. And keep in mind, when you shoot out of the gap, you have like 5 seconds to react because there's a root here and a big boulder here. So you have to kind of like snake your way out. And now I go down there and I run into the guy who was ahead of me, and his calf is bleeding
Oh God.
from the knee down.
Oh
He is off
God.
his bike. He's in the bushes. He pulled it off, and he is like bleeding from the knee down. His socks, his white socks, are soaking in blood.
Whoa.
So I literally stopped my bike. I'm like, "Yo, bro, are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just like, I'm just gonna take it easy and just go out." First run. Now there's two people out, done for the day. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So like, hey, I was just shouting up the trail, hey guys, we have an injury. Be careful when you exit the on ramp because I want to make sure that he gets down. So I ride down with him, right? And
How are you writing down with him?
I just like went behind him,
Okay.
and we were going way slower so that I could just like watch him, right? Because
Okay.
he's injured. I want to make sure he's okay,
Yeah.
and I want to make sure that he can like get home safe and all that good stuff. So because like this is day one of the bachelor party.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So I'm just like following him down. Keep in mind, you can't go fast on this trail, right? And so because we were going slow, we didn't know where the trail goes. So we went actually on the opposite trail that you should have gone on, to where now we have to ride our bike down steps, like actual steps, like steps
Mm.
to go up like a hiking trail in order to get back to the cement trail where it would be easy, right?
Wow.
So we had to ride our bike. And keep in mind, the tires on these mountain bikes are a lot thicker. So like they
Yeah.
can't take that hit, but that does not make this easy by any stretch of imagination.
Fuck.
So we go down these steps and then we make it to cement. We get to the starting point where we got our other friend, the guy who had fallen and hit his back on the rocks, where he was, waiting, and they both went home. Or they both like went out to the bars after that, which they probably should have gone to a hospital. So
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, we all met up at the starting point again. We're like, okay, who wants to go again? So we go up again. So this time I know what to expect, right? So I'm a
Yes.
little bit more like, okay, I can pick my spots a little bit more. When to go fast, when to go slow, what to watch out for. So we go down. And this time we put a little bit more space between each other, just because we know that around those sharp corners or whatever, like some people ahead had almost hit each other. So we take a little bit more space. The second time we go down, I'm just like, I'm kind of like feeling it. I'm enjoying it a little bit more. I'm not as like scared shitless. And I picked a little perch to just stop and like catch my breath. And I just hear this like blood curdling scream down the hill. So I go down and I meet this other guy on the party who had literally, I don't know what happened, but his knee was like melon swollen size.
Oh,
And his calf, I thought he had torn his Achilles because his calf had this big, like fist-sized lump in it. And it was like, bro, like you need to get that checked out. Like that is fucking serious. Like you should definitely get that
these
checked
are
out.
all very serious injuries.
I
These are
know.
not like
I,
sprained ankles.
I know these or like pulled muscles. Like this is like, bro, you
Get
should
to
check
a
this out.
hospital.
Like there is a fist-sized lump in your calf.
Oh my
That's
God.
probably not a good thing. So he has to literally like walk down because he can't like really pedal.
Ow.
Um, so
That's
he goes
miserable.
home, but not before on the last round of this trail where I went the right way, another person slashes their calf on a bike. He literally cracked, I literally saw it, like he just went around this corner. He didn't see this boulder there, and he just like hit the boulder. The pedal had like
Yeah,
went
spikes.
across and slashed his knee or something like, or slashed his calf. So he's bleeding from the calf down. So now that's four people who are gone from this trip.
Holy shit.
So keep in mind, this entire time, I did not fall.
No, you haven't,
No,
Mr. Hollywood.
not yet, right? So then we go up one more time. At this point, I'm exhausted, not just from the actual exercise of the mountain biking, but there's just like the straight up fear. Like, am I gonna go to the hospital today? Type of like fucking fear.
Why are you going up a third time?
I don't know. I honestly can't explain it.
I feel like this is
Like,
like a bit of a moment where you're like, oh, I'm still standing.
yeah,
What
exactly.
can,
I felt
like
like
God can't
that's
strike
always when
me.
the shit happens too. You know what I mean? It's always when that shit
Called
happens.
ego,
Yeah.
EGO.
Well, I have a certain perception to keep up with, And so we go up a third time. And keep in mind, like at this point, getting up this trail is like my legs and lungs are burning at this point. And so we get to the top and we go down, and there is one more injury where I didn't see what happened because I was one of the last people to go up because I couldn't like I was like walking up at this point basically. So they just went ahead and whatever. It's just like just go. And so they were all piled up, and this one guy had like fallen off his bike, and he had hit it against like a log or something, like a tree, and his back was black and blue. Like it was like,
Fuck.
oof, that's gonna be freaking tender tomorrow. And so at that point, he went home, like just straight, and I finished the trail. And my friend and I were like, hey, like, I know we
Left me
paid a bit of
standing.
money to like rent these bikes and all this gear and stuff, but I'm kind of over it.
Okay. I thought you were saying,
I'm
and we went
over
up
it.
again. I'm like,
Yeah. And
God.
also, like, I was like, at this point, I'm not the first one to go home. I can hold on to that, like, little, badge of honor. But I also
Yeah.
feel like I would be able to, like, I'm ready to call it, honestly, at this
Yeah.
point. So me and my friend take our mountain bikes, but we don't know the way back. So we just like Google mapped it. And one option cut through all these parks. So I'm like, oh, obviously let's do that. And so we ended up riding downhill with my friend, and we left them. They went up like a couple more times. I'm just like,
Wow.
guys like are nuts. Just keep doing you, boo. So meanwhile, I went through and had the most lovely ride with my friend. We went like over these creeks, through these neighborhoods in
That's what I
Vancouver.
like.
We got
That's
to
what I
see
like.
like these cool homes, the cool parts of the city. And it was not easy to just like drive through, or not difficult. I'm sorry, not difficult to like find a cool park to just go through cool rivers where we stopped and we just kind of enjoyed the day. It was a beautiful summer day in Vancouver, and we just like moseyed our way back. And lo and behold, here I am, like dust covered. And when I showed up at the shop, they saw me and they were like, "Oh, you look like you had a good time." And I'm like, "Do I? Do I?" So I was like, I was just like covered in dust, just like literally head to toe covered in dust. And I was like wrenching their gear. So they're like, you know, and it was very hot. And I was wearing this like long sleeve, like padded
Oh
thing.
God.
So I was like sweating through the clothes and whatever. But they saw me and they were like, "Oh my gosh, look at you. You look like," because they have avid mountain bikers who work at the shop. So they saw me and they're like, "Yo, you look like you should be on a poster for mountain biking right now." And I have to say, when we went to the brewery after,
Oh, best beer in the world.
that beer, I don't even know what beer it was. It could have been a goddamn Bud Light. That was the
Hmm.
best tasting beer I ever had in my life. And we were literally, everyone's around the table and we're just like, all like hedging our bets. And I wasn't the one who fell. So there you go.
No. But like falling is not what happened. Like almost died.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, like the trick with it is that you almost never ever want to hit the front brakes because if you hit the front brakes, which is what this one guy did, you will go over your bike.
Hmm.
You have to hit the back brakes. The back brakes are your best friend.
What was the mood like when you all got back to the house and like the rest of the
Oh my
week?
God. So I crashed so I crashed like so hard. If there's anything deeper than REM, I was there. I was like in the shadow realm of sleep. I was so, and we all had plans to like go out that night.
No,
Yeah.
no.
But I was like, yo, I need to sleep now. I was in such a deep sleep that my friend, like, they were all getting ready to go, and I guess like they were fine. I'm like, how are you guys doing this?
What?
So they're all just getting ready to go and whatever. And my friend wakes me up by smacking me in the head with a pillow while I was dead asleep. And so I don't know what happened, but I woke into this like obviously fight or flight instinct. So I just like literally like grab his neck, pin him against the wall, and just like was about to punch him, just like out of pure reaction. And I just saw him at the last second. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck what are you doing? Why would you hit me in the face with this pillow? And I was just like, that's how deep asleep I was. Because like usually
Yeah.
I'm a light sleeper, I could hear people walking around,
Yeah.
talking. No, I was knocked out.
Like, was everyone pissed at him? Like, yo, why did
No,
he
it
do
was
that? That y'all all went mountain biking and four people got like your fucking knees a melon, your legs split open, your back
yeah,
is fucked. You almost got
yeah.
paralyzed.
So one of the guys dads was a doctor, so they actually Skyped him because it was getting worse and worse because it was getting more swollen and swollen and swollen. So he just like ice compression elevation, just treating it, and he went the rest of the trip without really like having anything kind of serious happen. But
Wow.
when we were like a week later, we were still talking. He was saying that that lump in his calf was still there. I don't know what that was. If it was like, I don't know. It was just crazy.
Rate this bachelor party next to all the ones you've been to. What does it rate on a
Well,
scale?
that was so that was the mountain biking story. The rest of it was much more bachelor-esque
Party.
party, like, live music, bars, hopping around downtown Vancouver, trying amazing restaurants, like going to that public market where it's right on the water.
Oh,
A little
nice.
more like what I was expecting. There was just that one little thing he had to do for him because he's a mountain biker, my friend. So he
But
like
that's
this for him was his element.
yeah, but just because that's your thing doesn't mean that should be everybody's thing. That's a really, really crazy activity for a bachelor party. And the fact that you said it was like a professional route,
I would assume you're in the beginner
which
realm of mountain
you know I
biking.
would never make it down that mountain.
That would be, I would be
I would
shocked.
be out the first hill.
And the thing about these mountain biking trails that the casualty is not, it's actually a serious injury. Like a serious injury could happen. And they were saying on the trail, like people have broken their bones on this, torn muscles, ripped ligaments, like dislocated shoulders. Like people have gotten pretty fucked up on this trail. It's a very difficult trail. At the end of it, I was just like, I had never gripped something that tight. And it was like that freaking handlebar. I was just white knuckling that thing the entire time I was on that mountain.
I mean, you can be damn proud of yourself. I can't believe you did that like literally 3 times.
And it was a lot. Like even the 3 times that we did it, it was like 3 hours, 4 hours. Yeah,
Wow.
just because like getting up was like a 35-minute thing, and then you kind of relax my legs. which were so sore. Oh my gosh, I just stretched like a motherfucker after that one.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I am very proud that I didn't fall.
You know what happened is they jinxed you. They jinxed themselves by
I
bullying
think
you.
so.
They didn't just fall, like they got fucked up. And if they had like
Yeah.
just kept their mouth shut, I wonder if they would have fallen like that hard. Like the universe was like, okay, bitch, you're gonna fall off a bridge. You're gonna hit a boulder. You're gonna go front facing down the hill.
Yeah, it was
That's
funny because when we were all preparing to go up like in the morning, I literally felt like I was preparing for battle. I woke up that morning, I woke up like a little earlier, like I just had a little meditation session, absorb the quiet of the morning. Just like, tranquil,
God.
tranquil. That, I literally felt like I was going to war. It was literally
Crazy.
I just knew that like the last time we went, it was not easy. And I was thinking like this is way more rugged than Boston. I just went in thinking this is going to be like 20 times harder. And it was. Like I had never seen that wooden on-ramp device like structure in my life. I've seen that for race cars when they're going so fast around the curve, they have to go like that, and they're like
Wow.
windows are like parallel to the ground. Like that's
Wow.
what this was, but I'm not in a car. I'm on a
Bye.
bike. Yeah.
Fuck. Oh my God. Okay, well, what would you do for your bachelor party? Because I'm sure it would not involve biking.
Yeah. I don't know. I would love to do Mardi Gras or Carnival would be really
Oh
fun.
yeah.
Something like that would be really cool.
Yeah, New Orleans would be this fucking spot. Okay, well, to end, what you want to shout out?
As you guys have probably heard, I'm in a band, Sococho. Check us out on
Mhm.
Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, all the streaming services. Sokojo.
J-O.
Check it out. Sounds like I'm on the radio.
And then you're also doing acting, which I guess feel like you don't have anything yet to like shout out with that
Not
or
yet. Not yet. Just a few pornos, but nothing too serious.
yeah, I've seen them. Terrible.
Yeah. And you're not a fan of my work?
Sorry.
Freaking rude.
Wait, what is like a dream role for you though
A
for
dream
acting?
role?
Yeah.
Something that pays me would be a good start.
So no indie film, student film.
I mean, hey, I'll work with anyone. It just depends on the story. If it's a fun story, a great script, I can work with that.
Okay, think beyond that. Like, why are you interested in acting? Like, was there like a certain like actor or role that you're like, fuck, I wish I did that. I wish I was in that movie.
Man, that's a great question. There's a lot of movies I would say that I wish I was in. I wouldn't say I really did it to pursue or to like be like any other actor. It was more of like this is another creative thing I can do where I could just kind of like strut my stuff, kind of like flex another creative muscle because it totally is something different than music.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally something different. And like the performance wise, I'm not gonna lie, when I first started, it was very weird to not have like the guitar in my hand and just have like a set and whatever. It's more about like the lines and the character. But I feel like there's so many things in acting that even if you didn't want to pursue it professionally, would help you in all aspects of life. Because it's really
Mm.
about being moment to moment. And that to me is something that I could work on. So
Being moment to moment.
yeah, moment to moment. Like so in acting, it's like because you know what's gonna come next, right? With the lines, but you
Mm.
can't convey that you know what's gonna come next because it has to feel organic.
Yeah.
So it's more about, staying moment to moment and being present. You have to be focused just on what's here, what's right in front of you, what was just said, how it was said, and you respond, knowing what you're gonna say. I feel like that aspect of it, where like you're being moment to moment, you're being forced to be present into the scene, helps you in other aspects of life, which is, if anything else, that would be the one thing I would hope to take away. Just being more present, more moment to moment, and just more a higher focal point on being local, I'll
Local
say.
focal.
Yep. I would say that, yeah.
Local.
Yeah.
I've never heard acting described like that. That's like, I like that. Okay, well, check out Sakocho.
Check it
Check
out.
out his porn on your local focal porn hub.
Yep.
Yep. Cool.
All right. Well, there it is. Look at that.
There it is. Mr. Hollywood.
Look at me.
What's be funny when if you do become famous acting, because then they're gonna be like, oh, he really was Hollywood. He didn't fall and he actually became Hollywood.
Yeah, he didn't fall, he rose.
He rose. Okay, well, that's all for this episode. Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Maya, for writing in your travel stories. The reason why Sarah knew up to go to the Ritz-Carlton in Mexico City is because I have a whole episode called Top 10 Things You Should Do in Mexico City. And so many people have been reaching out to me because of the episode, because it's very fucking genuine tips you need to know. But also, I have a really, really good driver that can take you anywhere you want. And I really recommend him. So, hey, to anyone who has found me because of that episode, I've been making so many friends from it. And yeah, Sarah got to see a volcano erupt from the fucking Ritz-Carlton because she listened to the episode. So yeah, thank you, Sarah, for sending me your book, for connecting with me in general. And also thank you, Maya, for writing in your travel story. Again, if you want to hear how to hack your travels and get killer hotels, get great airline tickets, and to learn really how to do credit card points, because that shit is a game and it's something you have to learn about, I would say check out her Instagram at hackmya travel. Check out her Instagram, message her if you have any questions on how you can actually get in the credit card point game. And because I feel like that's actually how I should be traveling, because that's the level I'm trying to be at as a traveler. Also, if you have a crazy travel story, feel free to write it into me. My email is culturecultshow@gmail.com. The Instagram is at culturecultshow. You can always just hit me up and say, hey. The Instagram is mainly just memes. So if you love a good meme, definitely check out the Instagram. And if you write in a story, I'm happy to shout you out and share your art, your business, whatever you'd like me to share. Would love to hear from you. So again, if you want to write in your story, email me, culturecultshow@gmail.com. And the Instagram, if you want a good meme or just to say hey, is at culturecultshow. So we are coming to the end of the season. This is season 4. And I want to just shout out and give some love to the top cities and countries that have been listening to this season, because I fucking see y'all. It makes me so happy to see all the places around the world that are listening. And hopefully we can grab a beer one day. That'd be sick. So top places this season. First and foremost, my old town, LA. What's up? Then we got fucking NOLA, New Orleans. Also one of my favorite cities on this planet Earth. And I'm really sure you see so many freaking bachelor parties gone wrong. You should write in a story, actually, if you've seen some shit. Spill the tea, because I know New Orleans, that is like a shit show every night on the streets. But that's why we love you. That's why we love that city. New York, love that city too. Colorado, another big mountain biking spot. I bet y'all got stories. We got Missouri. I actually don't know much about Missouri, but my client's from Missouri and he's a solid dude. He's a great guy and a great client. So shout out to Missouri. Nashville, used to live there. What's up, Nashville? And then Florida. I know y'all got stories. So those are the top cities. And then the top countries we have are Deutschland. Ja, danke schön. Ich liebe Deutschland und danke für hören diese Podcast. Oh my God. My German's really bad. I'm so sorry. Deutsch ist meine Lieblingssprache, aber ich bin nicht gut at speaking German. So thank you so much, Deutschland. I really appreciate y'all. And I love your country. Then the second biggest country that's listening is Australia. That makes me so happy. I'm actually coming to Australia into the year, which I've been trying to get out there to y'all for like years, and it's finally lining up. I'm coming to Australia. I'm going to try to do a van trip from like the Gold Coast to Melbourne with my best friend. So if you have any like secret beaches or things you think I need to see, hit me up on Instagram. Or hell, maybe we can grab a beer. That'd be so fun. So if you're in Australia and you want to hang or maybe tell me all the good spots, hit me up on Instagram. And then last but not least, Canada and France. Both places that have incredible music. And I'm sure food. I heard Canada has good food. Obviously, France has amazing food. I'm going to France soon and I want to cry. I love France so much. I'm going to Provence soon. And this is embarrassing. I still haven't been to Canada. Like how American of me, honestly. Like y'all are right there. But our story today was from Canada. So shout out to Vancouver. And also y'all have amazing music. Some of my favorite bands are Plants and Animals. That's a really good band from Montreal. Kakwa, another great band from Montreal. Metric, that's a fun one. Drake, I don't know if y'all want to claim him right now because as we're speaking, there's like beef going on. But yeah, y'all got Drake. So thank you, Canada and France. So those are our top listener places. Thank you so much. And right now I am working with my designer, Andrea from the Wander Working podcast. She's so fucking good. And we are creating some sick ass merch right now. I'm not talking like stick a logo on a t-shirt and call it merch. Like I'm talking like fashion. Like we are making cool ass merch for y'all. Coffee cup stickers and t-shirts. So I'm really excited for that to come out sometime this year. So definitely follow on Instagram so you can see the designs once they come out. I'll drop a note once things are in motion for that. But we're making merch and it's going to be so sick. So I'm excited for that. Coming up for next season, I haven't announced the countries yet, but I feel like now's the time. So next season, we are doing Guyana. We are doing Egypt. Yes, fucking Egypt. I regret it as I'm speaking, but yes, I'm doing Egypt. And we're going back and we're covering Zimbabwe again because I had people from Zimbabwe reach out to me asking me why I didn't cover certain stories. And one of them is like one of the most documented, witnessed alien event that's ever happened, and it happened in Zimbabwe. So next season is like all about the spooky shit. Next season, we have cults, we have curses, we have mummies, we have aliens, we have ghosts, we have murders. I don't know. Next season is going to get spooky as fuck. I feel like this season was definitely very feature story focused, really incredible people like Joseph Ballone, the most badass, talented person to ever live that came from Guadeloupe. We got activists and explorers from New Zealand. And then we had badass bitches like Princess Kutulun from Mongolia. So I feel like we had a lot of like people featured on this season. But for next season, we're going to be doing lots and lots and lots of spooky shit. So that'll probably come out end of fall because it takes me like 6 months to build a season. So be patient with me, y'all. So in the meantime, I'm not leaving y'all high and dry. In the meantime, we're doing a new series, which I'll probably do between every seasonal break. We're doing something called Celebrating Black Culture, which I'm so fucking excited to show y'all this little mini series we're doing this summer. Essentially, I'm interviewing my Black friends, Black comedians, Black musicians, just Black artists in general, and just people in my life that I love. And we're going to come on and we're going to just cut the shit and talk about what we love about Black culture. And then next season, when I have a break, I'll do Celebrating Latin culture, Celebrating Asian culture. We'll just kind of learn about cultures that way. So you're not always having to wait on me to produce a full season. So I'm really, really excited for that little mini series to come out this summer. And yeah, that's it. Pretty much just updates in my life. I have spent the past 6 months taking a break from travel. I have been boring as fuck. I have been working out, getting fit. I really love strength training now. I have been just working on my business. I have landed 3 clients in the past month and I don't need any more clients. And I feel really, really, really good in my business after a year of working very hard on it. So the rest of the year is really just about traveling slow, enjoying life, doing other parts of my life, which would be like dating and exploring different kinds of art and all these other parts of my life that got put on pause because I was building my business. So I spent the past 6 months taking a break, just working out and working. And so next 6 months, I have an apartment I'm renting in Portugal. And then I am going to do this fucking free resort my friend landed in Bali. That's like a pool overlooking a cliff kind of resort. But the only thing is we have to act like we're a romantic couple. Yeah, that's going to be its own travel story. Like, I don't know why, but it's like they only want couples at this resort. So shout out to my boo, Meg. We gonna get it at the fucking resort. And then I'm going to Australia, which I'm super, super excited about. So lots of things coming in my life soon. I'll do like a whole life update episode, but lots of changes coming up. And yeah, it was good to take a break. So check out Celebrating Black Culture. That will be a little mini series coming out this summer. It's really, really fun. It's super funny and also very enlightening. I'm really loving that series that we're doing. And then, yeah, we're covering Guyana, Egypt, and Zimbabwe, which fuck me with Egypt. That's a big task, but we're going to do it. All right. Cheers, y'all. Have a great day.